Good morning, student. This is our geography class, and we are studying chapter number 3, water bodies. Today, we are going to study about the lakes. So, let's start. A lake is a small water body that is bounded by land on all sides. A lake is a small water body. Ocean is a large water body. So the lake is a small water body and that is bounded by lands on all sides. It is a depression on the land surface where the water accumulates, where the water collects. It is filled either by the surface water with the help of rain or by the groundwater or both. The lake can be as big as the Caspian Sea, Lake Superior, Lake Victoria, and Lake Titicaca. It can be a small pond like Chengu Lake in Sikkim. It can be very deep. It is it can be very deep as Lake Baikal in Siberia. Again, it may be very shallow, and it also may be very shallow. Now, lake can be classified. The classification of lakes. First is freshwater lake. The Superior Lake is a freshwater lake, and the B second one is saltwater lake. The Aral Sea is the example of saltwater lake. Now the features of lake. Let's start. Lakes are larger than pond. Lakes are greater than pond, and lakes are fed by rivers and streams or groundwater. Lakes are made up of rivers, streams, or groundwater. Natural lakes are mainly found in mountains. We can see the natural lakes in mountains, Rift Valley areas, and areas with ongoing glaciation, means the melting of glaciers. Some lakes are artificial, which are constructed for industrial and agricultural use. For hydroelectric power generation, such as Govind Sagar, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh. The Sagar Lake that is in Punjab is an example of uh, artificial lake. Dhakuria Lake in Calcutta was created for the beautification of the city. The Dhakuria Lake is also an artificial lake. Some major lakes of the world are: the first one is Lake Baikal in Asia. It is the deepest lake of the world. Five Great Lakes of USA, United States of America. First is these are the glacial lake, which are made up of melting of snow. The Superior Lake, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. Onega Lake in Russia, Lake Titicaca in South America, world's highest lake. Lake Victoria in Africa, it is a natural lake. Lake Erie in Australia, it's a salt lake. Dal Lake in India and Lake Chilika Lagoon, Great Bear and Great Slave Lake in North America, Lake Onega in Europe, and Lake Coconut in China are the example of major lakes of the world. Now let's come on river. A river is a stream of water which originate from a high land, which originate mostly from the mountains, glaciers, flows continuously through the valleys, and finally drains into a lake or a sea or a ocean. The place from where it originates, it's called its source. Where it originates, it's called its source, and where it is end, it's called its mouth. The confluence where two or more bodies of water rivers meet together usually refers to a joining of a tributary, that is called a tributary. A river or stream that branches off and flows away from the mainstream is called the distributary, and that is called the distributary. A river begins at source, flows a path called its course, and end at its mouth. So the total water body is a source, then its path, and end is called the mouth. Old rivers are characterized by floodplains. Example: Indus Valley, Indus River, Ganga, the lower river, Yellow River, Nile River, Tigris River, etc. The river with a gradient that reduce by tectonic uplift are called the rejuvenated rivers. Example: Colorado River in the USA. Now the characteristics of the rivers. Rivers are flowing across the surface of the earth in a channel and usually end at the sea, and it end in the sea, ocean or lake. Rivers are constantly changing. Some changes are temporal and some changes happen sudden, and other happens much more gradually. Rivers are dynamic in nature. The flow of a river are the and the amount of water in the river often changes according to the weather conditions or many other things. River changes the landscape through which they flow. They alter it by erosion, transportation, and deposition. Rivers often create estuaries at their mouth, which are excellent feeding grounds for dukes, geese, and the seabirds. For many animals, many creatures of the world. Many rivers create a triangular shape land at their mouth, which is called the delta. Example: the Ganga Brahmaputra delta is the world largest delta. The river may be snow-fed. Example: Ganga in Indus, hence perennial, or may be rain-fed. Narmada, Tapi, Mahanadi, hence non-perennial rivers. Now, bank of the rivers forms ideal location for the situation of the towns and city. Most of the people situate their cities or create their houses near the bank of the rivers. They also depend on the water of the rivers. Example: Kolkata, Cincinnati, Cairo, and London. Mouth of the river are ideal for the formation of natural harbors. Example: Kolkata, Buenos Aires, Alexandria, etc. Some famous rivers of the world are Ganga in India, Godavari in India, Missouri in USA, Colorado in USA, Seine in France, Obi in Russia, Rhine in Europe, Parana in South America, Amazon in South America, Murray in Australia, Zambezi in Africa, Zaire in Africa, Tigris in Asia, Irrawaddy in Asia, Mekong in Asia, Changjiang in Asia, Thames in UK, Indus in India and Pakistan, Mississippi in USA, St. Lawrence in USA, Rio Grande in Mexico, Danube in Europe, Mac, Mackenzie in Canada, Volga in Europe, Paraguay in South America, Orinoco in South America, Darling in Australia, Orange in Africa, Nile in Africa, Euphrates in Asia, Huangho in Asia, Lena in Asia, and Amur also in Asia. The main causes of pollutions of water bodies. What are the main causes of pollution of water bodies? Several causes are responsible for the water pollution in the world. These are as follow. First is urbanization. Rapid urbanization during the recent decade has given rise to the number of environmental problems, of which water pollution is one of them. Because of urbanization, the water pollution is causing. Use of chemical, fertilizer, and pesticide in the agriculture. These are washed into the water of rivers, lakes, and seas. During the monsoon or wherever there are heavy showers, aquatic weeds multiply rapidly in many water bodies. These are termed as non-point source of pollution. Now the agriculture waste. Agriculture include commercial livestock and poultry farming is a source of many organic and inorganic pollutants in surface water. Pesticide from agriculture runoff. A pesticide is kind of insect killing thing, pest killing thing, chemical, metals and processed chemical are also major source of that water pollution. Now is oil spilled. Waste oil from city drains, tankers and leakage from oil wells cause the oil to seep into the sea and rivers, ocean and pollutes the water, and that oil pollutes the water, and that degradation of aquatic and marine environment. Discharge of industrial waste into the rivers and sea. It is the main cause of water pollution. When the industry throw out its waste into the river, these wastes reach water bodies either through direct discharge or by leaching from waste dumps. Religious and social practices. Religious, faith, and social practice also add to the pollution of the river sea waters. Corpses of cattle and other animals are disposed into the river. Dead bodies are cremated on the river bank. These practices pollute the river and sea water and adversely affect the water. Now the measure to be taken to stop water pollution. The unequal distribution of water on the earth and its increased demand due to the increase in population is become a concern for all. The population of water, the pollution of water makes it difficult for water to support life in river and seas. Millions of people die after consuming contaminated water every year. Contaminated water means the polluted water. It is essential for everything on our planet to grow and prosper, but we disregard it by polluting our river, lakes, seas, and ocean. In order to combat water pollution, we must understand the problem. We have to understand the problem of water pollution and become a part of the solution. River, reservoirs, water bodies and water sheds will be protected from environmental degradation. A special emphasis should be given to water management through recycling water, control of water pollution, and legislation and regulation related to control water pollution should be implemented by our government. So student, that's all from this chapter, and I will provide the exercise of this chapter and question answers in our next class. Thank you student, thank you for listening.